Loving Father in heaven, we look to your throne and ask of you to give us revelation tonight by the gift of your Spirit of truth. Help each of us to have an understanding heart. Make it simple for all of us, that we may know the truth and that your name may be exalted in our lives. That in our hearts you will be exalted as glory. These mercies we ask of you, and thank you for hearing us and educating us tonight. In Jesus' holy name, amen. Amen. Okay, my dear brethren, we are continuing from our last study on Revelation chapter 17. And it is absolutely important that we get this part that we'll be talking about as clear as is possible. We'll explain everything to make sure it is very simple to your understanding. Right? So, you need to pay careful attention and follow in the scriptures. Still read to Revelation chapter 17. Revelation chapter 17. Okay, so we know what we are talking about. We are talking about the final destruction of false religion. That's what we're talking about. The final destruction of false religion. We are looking at how false religion is going to be destroyed. This is what Revelation chapter 17 is all about. Let's read chapter 17 verse 1. Again. It says this, and there came one of the 7 angels which had what? Seven vials. And those 7 vials are the plagues, okay? It says here, which had 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So we know Revelation chapter 17 explains the judgment of the great whore of Babylon and her daughters. Now who is this whore? Look at verse 5. It says this, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So then we see one thing for sure, that this woman here is identified in her teachings as mystery. That's the kind of teaching she has. She is called Babel the Great. Right? The Great Babel. And then she's also called the mother of what? Harlots and abominations of the earth. And harlots would mean that there are other women like her, but she's the mother of them all. So we know here we are looking at the Roman Catholic religion as we studied before, and daughters, others that are like her. So we are looking at that religion and other false religion. And what we are looking at is the judgment of that great whore. So we are looking at judgment that falls upon false religion in the last day. Do you get that, my dear brethren? Let's just get a recap of verse 10. Because, right, verse 10. Okay? Okay? And we'll go to verse 10 and 11, because we have to take off from verse 12. It says this, I And are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Right? So the 5 that will fall of the world empires, you know, are what? Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, and Greece. 1 is, in John's time, which power was ruling? Rome. So that was the one that is in this time. And the other that is to come is written in Revelation chapter 30. That is the United States of America. Yeah. That's the United States of America. Okay, my dear brethren? Right, so we know that is the one that is to come. And he continues a short space in the existence of, or in the realm of persecuting God's people. Now, verse 11 tells us, and the beast that was and is not, even he is of the 8th, even he is the 8th, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and going into what? Perdition. We discussed this last week. If you were to take 8, you have Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome, United States of America, and the 8th one is the New World Order. But the New World Order is of the 7th. It derives its teachings and values and ideology from the past 7. And we know the nation today, the empire today, that is pushing the New World Order more than anyone else is not Italy, not England, not Germany. Which country? The United States of America. That's why they clearly state in their documents, America shall lead the world into the New World Order. We know that for sure. More than any other country, it is the United States of America that is pushing it. So the 7th empire of all those 7, that one in these last days is going to push the world towards the New World Order. And hence the reason why America is behaving the way it is behaving now, because it is to bring in the New World Order. We know if the American Constitution is destroyed, there is nothing to hold back the world from going global socialist. Okay? And this is the reason why the push is to destroy the US what? Constitution. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to show you what's going on there on the film. But the copy of the film that you will get on Saturday will show you what is going on. Okay? Everything has been fixed up well and perfected and add a whole hour more to it. So you're getting a whole set of information. And the whole film for 2 hours and 2 minutes. And then you have a whole hour special features or extras on it, right? Okay, so that's for Sabbath. What do you say about it? Right, now, we know that this New World Order will descend into perdition and destruction, okay? So here is John telling us what will happen to this New World Order. The New World Order will self-destruct. It will be totally destroyed. We know that for sure. That's what John tells us. So now we go to verse 12. And the 10 horns, which thou sawest, are 10 kings that have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Did you see that, my dear brethren? So which are the 10 kings that didn't receive any power as yet in John's time? The 10 nations of Europe. The 10 nations of Europe are the 10 kings that did not receive any kingdom as yet in John's time, because Rome, the 6th kingdom, was still existing in the time of John. Is that understood, my dear brethren? Look at Acts chapter 28, verse 16 and verse 17. Acts 28, 16 and 17. Now this proves which power was ruling at that time. Let's read. And when we came to where? And when we came to where? Rome. Did you see that? The centurion delivered the prisoners. So that gives us the idea of which power had authority over the nations. It was which one? Rome. And this is verse 16 of Acts 28. And when we came to Rome, the centurion delivered the prisoners to the captain of the guard. But Paul was allowed to dwell by himself with a soldier that kept him. And it came to pass that after 3 days, Paul called the chief of the Jews together. And when they were come together, he said unto them, Men and brethren, though I have committed nothing against the people or customs of our fathers, yet I was delivered prisoner from Jerusalem into the hands of who? The Romans. So that means the Romans are already quite there in Jerusalem. So this, I noticed when he was carried into Rome, look how far Rome is away from Jerusalem. It's quite on the western side in the Mediterranean Sea. So here Rome was the power ruling at that time. And once Rome was the power ruling at that time, the 10 horns had received no kingdom one as yet. Is that understood? Is that understood? Yes. Right. Now, we know that those 10 horns are the nations of Europe that will develop out of the Western Roman Empire. Right? 10 European nations generally that will develop out of the Western Roman empires, right? And of course they will be changing borders, right? They won't get the same border or the same territory, but they will change borders. But basically you will have 10 major European nations developing out of the Western Roman Empire. Let's look at Daniel chapter 7, we look at verse 7 and verse 24. Daniel chapter 7. Look at verse 7. We read. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was different from all the beasts that were before it. And it had how much? 10 horns. Did you see the 10 horns, my dear brother? Now look at verse 24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. Stop right here. And 10 kings that shall what? Arise. So we know for sure that 10 European nations would arise out of what? The Western Roman Empire. Rome. Is that understood, my dear brethren?
Amen.
But notice what we are told. They take power with kings as kings 1 hour with the beast. Now stop right here for a while and stop and think. They take power. Let's read back again to 12 of Revelation chapter 17. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Now stop right here. The nations of Europe does not come into existence many years later at the time the Illuminati is existing, or for the last hour. But what is being referred to here is at the time that the Illuminati is existing, we are told of the nations of Europe taking a kind of power as kings. So in other words, what has happened here, the scripture has left out from the time the European nations came into existence and all their history, and just points to their history in the time when the Illuminati or the Scarlet Colored Beast is existing. Because the aim here is to show what happens in the world, the judgment of the world, great hope. So it shows they're not existing in John's time, but at that time they will take power as kings with the beast. So what we're looking at here is the assumption of the European nations as kings in the future with the Scarlet Colored Beast. That's what we're looking at here. This means that we have to see a Europe with or in alliance with the scarlet colored beast, which is Illuminism, globalism, communism, socialism, the New World Order, etc. That's what we have to see. And hence the reason why, before false religion is attacked, Europe must turn socialist. And that's the reason why when you investigate Europe, you will see Europe today is becoming socialist. In fact, the 10 nations are attempting to unite together as a European Union. We know that they are very divisive. We know there are a lot of problems among them. But you see them being put together as a European Union, and their constitution is socialist. Any constitution that tells you that your rights and freedom comes from the state, or tells you that the state can take away your rights and freedom, that country is socialist. And the constitution of the European Union makes it clear your rights does not come from God. It comes from human dignity. So if it comes from man, then man can do all. Take it all. Yes, my brother. Same thing. Same thing. One just identifies it violent, and one identifies it by creeping laws. When they say communism, it means violent, physical overthrow. When they say socialism, it means creeping laws. So it's the same motive. But communism, socialism, is the same no rights or attack upon your rights. It doesn't matter. They may look at different forms of it, but we look at it on the basis of looking at the essence of it. And the essence of it is anti-rights. It is against the rights and freedom. Yes, sir.
I want to stray from what happened. There are a lot of people you meet and they say that they like a socialist government. So I ask why. They can't have 4 cars and somebody who have 3 houses and somebody who have property rights. You know, they like it because of that. That's the only explanation they have.
Right.
Because of that.
They usually give a covetous answer. Somebody have 4,
yes.
And you want, when they're looking for the state to distribute and give them. They're stupid because you think the state is going to take a car from them and give it to you. They're going to take it for themselves and for their party members. That has been proven in history. Like the see, but that's the deceit. But in the end, they're saying, we are taking away your rights to give you property. But if you take away a person's private property, you can't give him property. What do you do? Because you're taking it away. That's the delusion of the devil. Yes, brother. Somebody out there have
No, I just wanted to say, you work for hard, you don't pay anybody else work hard, you don't take. I don't understand you want to take from my time, give this somebody else wrong there.
redistribution. Well, this here tells us they receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. We are being referred to the 1 hour in the future. When the beast is already existing, the scarlet beast, we are being told to look at the 1 hour when they take power. So you can look at Europe at the time of the 1 hour with the beast. Right? And that's what we're coming to the 1 hour. Right now, it won't happen just suddenly once like that in a few hours. So we'll be watching at the times and we'll see small changes towards that time. And that way we will know it is near even at the door. Okay, now let's go on again. Right? So they receive power 1 hour with the beast. 1 hour with the beast. It means to say we are being told that Europe will become communist or socialist or Europe will be Illuminized. They get that clear, my dear brethren. That's what we're being told. The scarlet beast is going to influence Europe. Yes, my dear.
I just wanted to ask a question just by the different government. When the government actually takes land and gives it to people free, isn't that a form of socialism that other people have to work hard for that?
If they take it from someone, if it's state land, that's different. But if they take it from somebody and take it illegal, if they didn't pay you for it, or if they conduct a scheme to get it as something legal but it's robbing you of your rights, that's socialism. And so that's what we have to look at, right? Now, we are told this alliance happens for 1 hour. 1 hour with the beast, amen, brethren?
Yeah.
So let's just try and look at this 1 hour now, okay? it's important that we look at that 1 hour. So we want to look at Europe in the last 1 hour. Right? Because we need to find out what is that 1 hour. We want to look at Europe in the last 1 hour and see what happens. Because it is in this last 1 hour that the beast, that the harlot and the daughters are destroyed in that last 1 hour. So you notice the Bible is giving us the last detail. Nothing is left out. We know how it takes place right down to the end. So you can go and prophesy and say, because you're supposed to have the spirit of what? Prophecy. So you're supposed to say, well, you only last for 15 days. Because the Bible says, someone will have to marry you, and when Christ comes and says, no. That's going to be destroyed by Illuminism. It's 15 days. You even know the time and all? You even know the power that is doing it and all? And you know what is going to happen to us. Because the Bible explains that. Amen, brother? He's showing the judgment of the great what? Power that does what? Sit about the water. Yes, brother.
Another time, you also be in another time?
Yes, but we now come into that, eh?
Yes. Jump out, too far.
No, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
No, that's right.
Yes, they will be Illuminatis. At 1 hour, because remember, they take power as king 1 hour with the beast. So the beast have to take power as king. And these nations have to take power as king with the beast too. Right? So it must be a shared power there. Now, let's look and see now. What is this 1 hour? The first thing we need to understand is that 1 day equals a year by the prophecy, right? Okay? 1 day equals a year by the prophecy. Let's just look at Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 6. Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 6. Okay? Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 6. And he says, and when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed unto thee each day for a year. So 40 days will equal how much? 40 years. Okay, my dear brother. Now this is a kind of a prophetic calculation God gives. When he says 40 days, how much does he mean? 40 days. That's a prophetic calculation. Now the fact that that prophetic calculation is real. Turn to Numbers 14:34. Numbers 14:34. Is it found? It says, after the number of days in which you search the land, even how much? 40 days, each day for a year, shall you bear your iniquities, how much? 40. Even 40 years, and you shall know my breach of promise. Bottom line is that the children of Israel was to enter into the promised land very quick. But because they transgressed against the law of God, and they were so rebellious and they gave so much trouble, God gave the old generation that gave the trouble a chance to die out in the wilderness. So he says, the length of time you search the land when I sent you. How much time will you search it? 40 days. Each day for a year. You will spend 40 years in the wilderness. And then they will know I really break my promise with you. And how much that is? 40 years. And you and I know how much time the Israelites spend in the wilderness. How much time? 40 years. So it is what we call a prophetic calculation that God uses. And he gave it to us. Right? And this same calculation is given to us to understand the book of Revelation. Now why this 40 days, or why this day for a year? Because when it comes to calculate time, it will be by far much more better to use that to help us understand important time. And this is the reason why God gave us that. So each day equals a year. So now we come to the board. How much days in a year in those days? 360 days equals how much? 1 year in those days. Now we can prove this, right? I am quoting from Uriah Smith, Daniel and Revelation, page 144. 1 year, it says this, I quote, the Bible year, which must be used as the basis of reckoning, contains 360 days. I'm quoting Unfolding Daniel's Prophecy by Roy Allen Anderson. A Jewish year, recognized by Bible scholars, is 360 days. This being the mean average between a lunar year, 356 days, and a solar year, right, 365 days. A solar year of 365 days. So in other words, the Jews had between a lunar year of 356 days and a solar year of 365 days, they say, okay, 360. And 360 would be the real time how they calculate a year. Again, Unfolding the Revelation by Roy Allen Anderson. A prophetic year is 360 prophetic days or literal years. So that 3.5 prophetic years equal 1,260 literal days. And of course, you can work it out. All you have to do is to write down 42 months. Write down 42 months on a paper.
Right.
Just write down 42 months if you have to. You're going to try something there. Write down 42 months. Okay, you write down 42 months. Each month having 30 days. So multiply 42 by 30. 1,260 days. Did you see that? So then if you take the months and each month has an equal number of days, and you take 12 months, okay? How much days will you get in that 12 months? 360. So if you take 12 months, 30 days in month, how much you get? 360. So you know for sure that 360 days make a month.
1 year.
Is that understood, my little baby? Okay, do you get that clear, right? So we know this for sure. This we know for sure. But now what we need to do is to see how much is 1 hour of that year.
I don't know if this was sidelined too much, but with respect to the existing calendar, with supposedly 365 days, etc., why is this existing calendar not better than the 360 days calendar?
Well, I really didn't want to go into this part, but the original 360 days is what you will get from the time of the flood. If you calculate from the time of the flood, you'll get 360 days. That's what it really was. But the earth has been changing in its time. Sometimes losing time, sometimes gaining time according to different disasters. Right? Okay, like the earth speeded up recently as a result of the Japanese earthquake. Also the one in Indonesia that we had to about 2004. So sometimes you get speed up, sometimes you get it. But the standard was 360 original. And that is what you will calculate in Genesis. Okay? Alright, so that's how it works. Right, good. So that's the reason why that standard is used. But we want to find out how much is 1 hour. So the question we need to ask. In fact, Roy Allen Anderson tells us a Jewish month is 30 days. In his book 94, Unfolding Daniel's Revelation. A Jewish month is 30 days, okay? And that is page 94.
It is still follow with many whether only these children
Well, here is what happens. By giving us this way to check if there is any time go a little further or time go a little shorter, we have a kind of a way of checking that wouldn't affect it. And this is the reason why God given. Had God given it let us say, like 365 days or 360, as time has speeded up or as time has dropped, we will have confusion in judgment. So God has given us a way to judge that we would not enter into confusion. Now, to find out how much days or time equals 1 hour, we need to find out how much 24 hours make up 360 days. Right? So 24 hours it is how much? 1 day. Right? So that 1 day is 24 hours. We want to see how much each of that 24 hours, right? How much each of that 24, one of each of that 24 hours, how much days it will be in equal to 360, in dividing it into 360. And that way we'll get how much 1 hour representing days. So if you can take 24 hours, right? 24 hours is a day. But we are told it's in 1 hour that these people unite together and finally are destroyed. 1 hour. So we need to find out how much 1 hour is in Bible prophecy. So 1 hour there is a prophetic calculation. If we take a day has how much hours? 24. And we want to take that 1 hour out of that day and carry it in or calculate it in contrast to the 360 days, so that 1 hour will give us a certain number of prophetic days. And that number of prophetic days is the time that this union will take place. This 1 hour union will take place between the scarlet colored beast and the nations of Europe. Okay? There we have it at the board. If you divide 24 hours into 360 days, how much would you get? How much would you get? 15 days. And watch me. I even write down, okay, 24 hours. What? 1, 2, 3, going way down. Each hour gives you how much? 15 days. And then you calculate all that 15 by 24. What would you come up with? 360. So you know for sure that it is 15 days the 1 hour is. Amen, brethren? Did you see that? 15 days the 1 hour is. Let's read that verse 12 again. Revelation 17 verse 12. So I've written it down there to make it easy for you. Is it found? And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet in John 10. But take power or take authority, that's the Greek, as kings 1 hour with the beast. Did you see that? Did you see that? Now some people say, well no, in some say that 1 hour is in the same time with. So that 1 hour is in the same time with, it doesn't mean 1 hour. Let's see the Bible use 1 hour in different ways to identify the issue of how the woman is destroyed. Because if this scarlet colored beast, Illuminism, take power with the 10 nations, 1 hour with the beast, 1 hour or 15 days, if Illuminism and the 10 nations take power, how much? 15 days. Then you would expect the woman, the whore, to be destroyed within how much days? 15 days. The process of our destruction takes how much? 15 days. Proof of it, let's get to Revelation chapter 18. We go to verse 10 first of all. Is it found? It says this. Standing afar off for the fear of a torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment what? Did you see the 1 hour again? In how much? 1 hour is thy judgment come. And remember, the angel came and said, I will show you the judgment of the great one, whore, that sitteth upon what? Many waters. Amen. And here we are being told is in 1 hour the judgment one come. Did you see that? Did you see that? Let's look again. Chapter 18 again of Revelation. Look at verse 17. Verse 17. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to Noah. You can stop there. So all the riches are lost within how much time?
1 hour.
Which is how much?
50 days.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Amen.
And verse 19. Verse 19. It says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, the great city, that is Babylon, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made how much?
Desolate.
Is she made how?
Desolate.
Desolate. So here you have 3 scriptures confirming that the destruction that takes place upon Babylon happens within what time?
1 hour.
Which is how much?
15 days.
Which is how much?
15 days.
And you've seen it right here on the board, 15 days. Okay, my dear brethren? You all get that clear? You all get that clear?
Amen.
Thus we are told that the nations of Europe will be in political operation for 1 hour or 15 days in alliance with the scarlet-colored beast, or with communism, socialism, globalism, or humanism. So the nations of Europe will be in alliance with globalism, communism, socialism, illuminism for how much?
1 hour.
Or 15 days. This fact is represented, my dear brethren, by this following quotation that I give you from the Protocols of Zion. The Protocols of Zion. Now the Protocols of Zion were written by Rothschild and his top international bankers in the late 1800s in Basel, Switzerland. They had a World Jewish Congress in which over 500 Jews gathered, and they plotted to take over the Western world and destroy Christianity. And coming out of that discussion was the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. And these protocols were stolen by a man who was there and was working in the place, delivered to a next man, sold to a next man for money. Because in those days people were seeking to find out what the Jews were doing. And that same protocol was given to a Professor Nilus from Russia, who received it in about 1905. And when he received it in 1905, he's the first one to publish it and show Russia, look what the Jews were doing to take over the world. Why did you think God make it fall into Professor Nilus' hands first? Because Russia would be the what? First country that will fall to what? Communism. Really fall to communism. We know the rest of the story. Years later, Lenin took over, they executed Nilus for what he revealed. But from Nilus it was translated into different language, including English. That's how we have it today. Is that understood, my dear brother? And it is this protocol that I'm quoting from, page 156. You can get it free on the internet, you can get a free download of it on the internet. The protocols of the World Elders of Zion. I would ask every one of you to make sure you get a copy. Right? Now here's what it says. I quote. Hear what the Jews are saying. Hear what the Jews are saying. Now you listen to me. It says this. We shall create by all the secret subterranean methods open to us, and with the aid of gold, which is all in our hands, a universal economic crisis. Did you hear what they say? They will create a what? A universal what? Economic crisis. Is that beginning to happen now? Economic crisis, whereby we shall throw upon the streets whole mobs of workers simultaneously in all the countries of Europe. Did you hear what they say? It started with Greece, but trouble is coming all over the world. Today, we know for sure trouble is coming all over the world. That's why I'm very sorry for Mr. Ron Paul in the United States of America. Yesterday I was so grieved. He stands for the last politician that believes in Jeffersonian republicanism in America, and he's now 70-something years old. If he doesn't get the presidency to save America and the world, that's it, the truth. He represents the last effort at redeeming some time on the world, and if he fails, no more time. And this is the reason why I might personally admire that gentleman. And as far as I'm concerned, he is the best to be president in 2012, this year at the end of November, when they're voting. But it is hardly likely they will nominate him to run for the Republicans. But he represents the last stand of Jeffersonian republicanism as a politician in the United States of America. And you need to observe what is going on. You need to just stop studying UNC and People's Partnership Bacchanal about selling blimp and all kind of nonsense. That's just one petty little thing. Of course they're doing wrong, right? Of course they're seeking to honor themselves as Queen Counsel when it is illegal for some of them in their position. But that's petty politics. Look at the higher cause. Look at things on a global perspective, because it's the end coming here, brother. So look at things on a higher global perspective. Please evoke interest in these things and see what's going on. You see? Yes,
Mr. Dean had some sort of elections and came too, right?
Iowa caucus. Yes.
Right. So who are the people who make up that? Who are the voters in that?
So I wouldn't know, but we know it had conservative and etc. Social conservative, religious conservatives, and according to whatever they did, they voted.
So just is that the general people of the state or anything?
Yes, Iowa State. But when they say who are the, yeah, but when they say who are the people, I thought you mean their characteristics.
Okay.
Since we know it is the state of Iowa.
But if this man, when my question comes to my mind, if this man standing for so much what America really stands for, freedoms and so on, why do people that just grab him? Why do they just kind of, allow for all this for the kind of people to go to?
Not all Americans think like you and I. Yes. I'm not hearing? That no, he's not Jewish.
He's not Jewish.
No. He's a Texan.
He is?
Texan from Texas.
Even if he is successful, wouldn't they just kill him like they killed the others before?
No. Well, yes, most likely. They will try to kill him. You see, Reagan represented one of the last time in his time. But Reagan wasn't enough. Reagan didn't do enough. The one who will really do enough, bring about Jeffersonian republicanism, is Ron Paul. He will get rid of the Federal Reserve, remove what we call extreme government. You understand? And stop interfering with foreign nations' affairs and bombing up nations. Stop fighting for the Israelis. Stop selling so much money to the Israelis. Save American jobs by removing the heavy tax regime placed on starting a business in America that has caused many people not to be able to start businesses, as American jobs are shipped away in China and India, Brazil, Mexico and all other places. And to create unemployment in America, to push America to the new world, he's going to stop it. So he stands as the last, but I don't want to go there more now. We'll stop from there. Yes, no. Right, so let's go on now. But as we are saying, so here what they're going to do in Europe. It says here, I continue. Hear what they say. Listen to me again. They will cause a universal economic crisis whereby we shall throw upon the streets whole mobs of workers simultaneously in all the countries of Europe. These mobs will rush delightedly to shed the blood of those whom in the simplicity of their ignorance, in the what? In the simplicity of their ignorance, they have envied from their cradles, and whose property they will then be able to loot. So they're planning to create worldwide anti-rights, riot, civil war, chaos, and then they will come as the saviors to bring peace. One world government. So you notice the same thing about looting people's property. As you were speaking about, brother, I'm showing you. They have taught people in the simplicity of their ignorance that socialism is about sharing property. Government take and so the government will say, okay, whoever property you take is yours. Take only the rich. You think the government will be able to watch millions of people and see which one they take? Some will find, listen to me, you will find another man rich and you poor, but some will find you rich and you poor. How would you judge that? And this is going to happen in Europe. This is clear proof that Europe is going to turn socialist in how much time? 1 hour, which is?
50 days.
Did you get that clear, my dear brethren? Did you get that clear?
Amen.
Good. Yes, my dear brethren.
One of the things will be military management before.
The last 50 days of December last week. Yes, yes. And I'm going to put a chart when we're coming up to the end of this so that we will have a chart of Revelation chapter 17. This chart is going to show you the time frame of Revelation 17. Now, if it is the 7 last days, and if it's the 7th angel that says, come and see the destruction of the great hope, and we're told of the last 15 days of this earth issue, then it has to be the last 15 days of the year of the feast. Okay, by logic. Now, look at verse 13. Revelation 17:13. Revelation 17:13. It says this. These, that is the 10 nations, have one mind. Did you see that? And shall give their power and strength unto whom? Unto whom? The scarlet colored beast. Did you see that, my dear brother?
Yes.
So these have one what? Mind. Did you see what is the future for the world? Some people figure that, you know, well, forget about Christ and I'll just live it up. Hello. Very soon, there's going to be global destruction taking place. Robert Reagan pillaging. Is that understood? And this verse, these verse 13 tells us, these 10 kings shall have one mind, and shall give their power and strength to the beast. Or as the Greek says, distribute their power and their authority to the beast. Now, let's look at this one mind thing. What is the one mind these 10 nations have? The Greek word is genome. Genome, G-N-O-M-E, genome. I am quoting from the Complete Word Study Dictionary, New Testament, page 377, what the word genome, which is translated mind, means. You ready for it? Genome, G-N-O-M-E. It means
What is the word?
genome,
Spell it again.
G-N-O-M-E. It means to discern, to know. Generally, it means capacity of judgment, faculty of discernment, as far as conduct is determined. As implying will, in the sense of accord, consent. So it means to say, you have an idea together, and you agree to do something about it. That's what it means. You have an idea together and you agree to do something about it. That's what it means. It goes on. It says here, as implying opinion, judgment in reference to oneself. It signifies consciousness, mind, opinion, thought, end of quote. So in other words, the 10 nations shall have one thought or one word, opinion. By opinion, it means they agree with regards to something. And when you have an opinion affects your will. Is that understood, my dear brother? when you have what? An opinion affects what? Your will. So we are actually being told that the 10 nations will have one opinion. What is that one opinion that they will have? This one opinion, my dear brethren, consented to by the nations of Europe, is left-leaning socialism, communism, globalism. Listen to me. The one opinion Europe will have is left-leaning socialism, communism, globalism, and godless concepts or ideology, a godless concept, an ideology that caused the French Revolution. Yeah, let's do it. So you are expecting them to have the same kind of concept, left-leaning globalism, socialism, a godless ideology, an ideology of hate for Jesus and Christianity that led to the French Revolution. That's the one opinion they all should have, and this is why it says that. Listen to her in Education, page 228. Education, page 228. Here's what she said. I quote, "At the same time, anarchy is seeking to sweep away all law, not only divine but human." What is she speaking about? The same thing we read in the protocols of what? Zion. When it would show mobs out in the street. Mrs. White says, at the same time, anarchy is seeking to sweep away all law, not only divine but human. Then she explains, the centralization of wealth and power, the vast combinations for the enriching of the few, the international bankers, at the expense of the many, the combination of the poor classes for the defense, the combination of the poor classes for the defense of their interests and claims, the spirit of unrest, of riot and bloodshed. Here is Mrs. White speaking. She said, the worldwide dissemination of the same teachings that led to the French Revolution. All are tending to involve the whole world in a struggle similar to that which converged in France. End of quote. So Mrs. White tells us the same opinion and the same social situation that led to the French Revolution, the same teaching is going to spread all over the world, and it's going to cause the whole world to be in revolution, riot, anarchy, just as what caused the French Revolution. And this is what we are actually being told here. This is exactly what we are being told here. They have one opinion. You'll get it in Education, page 228. Yes, my dear.
So you brought in the education of the world today. University is to be taught
Well, one place we are taught this kind of socialized concept in the universities, obviously, but in the ordinary schools too, on television programs too, on documentaries too, in books. There's not just one place, it's all over.
But basically, that is what we call global trust. Is to educate people towards their plan.
Globalism.
Yes.
And when they say globalism, it still means socialism.
Yes.
Right, that's right. Yes.
Very passion of economic structure of the world is an ideology that has been taught and people develop it until they arrive at what it is they arrive at.
Well, economics just make you become subservient to the international bankers.
Yes.
POB, principles of business. You learn those principles that make you depend upon the international bankers through their bank to make your business run.
Yes.
So it's just all of this part of the education to bring about the world. Okay? I saw someone
relaxing and socialism is seen as fitness, right?
Yeah.
And they allow it as, see how to push their plan, right? Through the education and system and environment, right? That is young. I don't understand more the foundation of it, you know? Because the French Revolution was made and pushing through the organizations.
Yeah.
Through the organizations.
Yeah, but we are not told that we will go through the same organization. Just like the teachings will spread. The organizations will be different in the end of time of this. At that time we had the Jacobins, right? And the Jacobins were what we call secret societies all over France. You also had the encyclopedists. They were reading societies in libraries that taught evolutionary concepts in regards to how the earth came about and sort of undermine Christianity. But today you have many different organizations, maybe hundreds of thousands. We would spend the rest of the night talking about them and we get nowhere. Because there's so much.
But they have the same principle.
In one way or the other, they have the same socialized concept, the same concept that led to different revolutions.
From the underlining thing of it is the hate for Jesus Christ and Christianity. That's why they will persecute the saints of Jesus Christ.
Right. Of course, behind it all is Jewish hate for Christ being the Messiah and for Christianity saying that.
Yeah.
But the underlying issue is that it is on anti-rights and anti-freedom.
Yeah.
That's what makes it what it is. Anti-rights and anti-freedom. If it was pro-rights and pro-freedom, we would have no problem.
Yeah.
It's anti-rights and freedom. And anti-rights and anti-freedom. But behind it all are people who hate Jesus Christ and the fact that he claims to be the Messiah.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, read that verse again. Verse 13. Read that verse 13. These are one opinion now, we know, right? And shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Did you see the word power there? The other word give means distribute. Distribute. Right? They're giving or they're distributing their power and their strength. What does the word power there mean? The word there power, are you listening, my dear brother? The word there power is the Greek word dunamis. It means ability. And the word strength is exousia. It means authority. Right? So they will give their ability and their authority unto these scarlet-colored beasts. Now what is the ability of a nation? It's constitution. That's how a nation runs. That's the dynamics of a nation, it's constitution. The authority of a nation also is that part of the constitution that places in people's hands the ability to what you call put penalty, to arrest and do all these sort of things. So we are actually seeing Europe giving their constitution over and their executive authority over to Illuminism, socialism, communism. Is that understood, my dear brother? Is that understood? That's the terrible problem we have to face in the future. The dynamics or the constitutions of the European nations will be given over to Illuminism or communism. This means that they will all reflect or operate by no rights and no freedom philosophy. They will all operate by a no rights and no freedom philosophy. And that is the no rights and no freedom philosophy of the scarlet-colored beast. That's what they will do. So expect Europe to operate by the no rights and no freedom philosophy of the scarlet-colored beast, which is communism. Amen? Yes. Here is communism, described by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in the Communist Manifesto, page 103. I quote, "But communism abolishes eternal truth." Did you hear that? But communism, page 103 from the Communist Manifesto. But communism abolishes eternal truth. It abolishes all religion and all morality instead of constituting them on a new basis. End of quote. Did you see that? Again, page 98 from the Communist Manifesto. And the abolition of this state of things is called by the bourgeoisie the abolition of individuality and freedom, and rightly so. So they abolish individuality, they abolish what? Freedom. I am quoting Vladimir Ilyich Lenin on religion, page 21. Hear what he said. We must combat religion. That is the ABC of all materialism and consequently of Marxism. So when Europe gives themselves over to this calligraphy, what will they seek to do? Combat what? All religion. Now you are seeing how these calligraphies using the 10 nations will destroy the woman. Amen?
Yes.
Because they will have one opinion, a socialist communistic opinion that has been spreading all over the world. Page 21 of the book on religion by Lenin. Hear what he says. Yes, my dear. From a book by the name of Lenin on religion. Lenin on religion, that's the book. I'm quoting page 21 of the same book again. Down with religion and long live atheism. The dissemination of atheist views is our chief task. End of quote. Lenin. So you can imagine this character. Do you see what's going to happen to false religion? Amen? Page 23 of the same book on religion. A Marxist must be a materialist. That is an enemy of religion. End of quote. Did you see that, my dear brother? Did you see that? Did you see that, my dear brother?
Yes, brother.
So it means the authority of the European nations is their governance, legislature, and judiciary. Giving their authority to these colonies is giving their governance, legislature, and judiciary with the relative executive powers to communism, socialism, Illuminism, etc. This facilitates the persecution of undesirables than God's people and even false religion. Thus, the executive authority of the European nations will be illuminized or socialized. So you are looking at the future of Europe. You want to move and go and live in Germany? Fine. You want to go and live in Spain? Fine. You love Britain? Fine. Or perhaps you want to go in France. All over, or probably you want to go in Croatia. All over Europe. The 10 nations. But here there's an extension here. Whenever you say Europe, you are thinking about not just Europe only, but the nations that you have conquered. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
So we are speaking English. From which nation? Because they conquered who? Us. Excuse me, Guatemala speaks what language?
Spanish.
Spanish. From which nation? Excuse me, Cuba speaks what language?
Spanish.
From which nation?
Spain.
Excuse me, Martinique speaks what language?
French.
And Guadeloupe?
French.
From which nation?
France.
You got it? By the way, Brazil speaks what language? What language?
Portuguese.
From which nation? By the way, Ivory Coast speak what? From which nation?
France.
Oh, by the way, Angola, what language does it speak? Portuguese! Could you imagine you go quite Angola, and what language are you getting? Portuguese. Are you listening to me, my dear brother? Tanzania speak what language? English. From where? England. Algeria has Arabic. But what is the second language in Algeria? French. That's right. By the way, which nation conquered Libya before? Italy. Which nation conquered the Congo? Belgium. Which nation conquered Togo in Africa? Germany. You can check wherever you want, but not two in the South Pacific. Which, they speak English, so which nation conquered them? You get the idea, my dear brethren? You get the idea? The nations of the world. That's right. The 10 nations represent the nations of the world. Amen, brethren? Yeah.
Put also a documentary where this guy from Denmark, he was Christian who got to Palestine and he was jailed because they show it was country there. We don't have religious institutions.
That's right. In Denmark, if you preach against someone, you can be jailed. That's how far it's going. You see, the nations are anti-Christ. And by the way, they ask the question, which people were responsible for those anti-Christ legislation? Sorry, I should say anti-Christ, anti-Jesus legislation in Europe. The Jews. Right Jews. In Canada, which nation? The Jews. Right Jews. So now you understand the historical geese. Amen, brethren?
Amen.
And the one primarily behind it is which people?
Jews.
That's right, that is Talmudic Judaism. That is Kabbalism. That's the protocol. Yes, my dear brother.
In Judaism, right? They consider the statement to them. What will the prophet Aman to be with a music so? What will Aman do for his music? You know, I'm not always caught up in the dream or in the dream, right? So you say that from that, you know, materialism.
Some of them will caught up in it.
Like in the days of the world, and if I say about soil, that they not really got to agree with the religions, they're not going to get things in the soup. Could you say from the truth that the 70% all the things that come about materialism?
Well, we know one thing for sure. Who were the ones in charge of the finance in ancient Israel in Jesus' time? The Levites. Okay? Who were in charge of gold and silver a lot in the world? The Jews who belong to the tribe of God. Levi. If you refuse to pay, can they levy you? And what do you think levy means? Levi, you. Who had the gold? The Jews. Right? Watch me. The word El means gold. And Jewel is what? The Jews' gold. Jewel. That's where it literally come from. So when you say you have Jewel, literally came from the Jews' gold. Jewel. Did you see that? Did you see that, my dear brother? That's where it came from. Yes, my dear brother. Yes. If in the end they will blatantly come out and worship Satan, actually, I actually found quotations where certain rabbis are saying the Jews don't want to admit it, but we really worship it because the God of the Jews is Lucifer. I actually let a rabbi say that, but we're going to show you that later on. Don't worry, it's all going to come out. Yes.
It's a show and a trick of the civilized nations of the world.
Yes.
The American people speak on England.
Yes.
And don't mean which company, President Columbia comes from Spain and one nation and so on.
Yes.
We see how children
Exactly. Okay. Yes, brother.
Because when I think about you look at this phenomenon, you think you tell yourself these are Luciferian. Because they are telling themselves even the Jews. So they want to know what they really are. Worship who's ready to God, you know. If it is, you know. Really? Some kind of insult with it they're using for.
You see, this is what we want you all to know. Not every single Jew is evil. And evil persons are unconverted. All Gentiles are evil. All Jews are evil. What makes a person not evil is when they are converted. But not every single Jew is party to the conspiracy. Some of them are ordinary citizens who themselves are in trouble. But we are dealing with Talmudic Judaism. Jews that have been influenced by the Talmud. Jews that are behind the protocols of the elders of Zion. Jews that are behind the economic controversy. Jews that are destroying the world with the type of anti-Jesus legislation. They're the ones we're dealing with.
Yes.
They're the ones that have power. This is why Mrs. White speak about the enriching of a few. Right? Right? So the point about it, these are the kind that we are looking at. Now when we are speaking here, we are not racist. If a Chinese does certain thing, or an Indian does certain thing, or an African does certain thing, and we point it out, it doesn't mean to say we are racist. What it means is that we are truly identifying a trait that the race has developed by the clannish relationship with each other and certain faults over the years.
That's right.
And this is what we are identifying with the Jews.
That's right.
The problem of the Jews is the Talmud.
That's right.
That despicable book which Christ said made them became what? Asps. You understand? Asps. Poisonous things. That made him say you are children of the devil. Why would Jesus say that about his Jewish fellow men? He was speaking about a certain certain type of Jew that allowed the Talmud and his teaching to make them become devilish. That's why he says in vain you worship me by teaching for doctrines what?
The commandments of men.
That was the Talmud at that time. So that's what Jesus is speaking about. And we are talking about those same things. Now the Jews know that. So they're trying to use the boogeyman of anti-Semitism. When they say anti-Semitism, it's something bad, it's a crime. It's hate against you. They try and make you not speak against them. Not show what you know. They do not want the knowledge to spread.
That's right.
Amen, brethren?
Amen.
And many things we wouldn't know if God didn't allow the internet at this time. Amen, brethren?
Amen. Amen. Oh,
in my early days, I had to send away for books after books on the conspiracy and so on. And you know, at one point in time, one of them went quiet, a whole pile of books that I ordered went quiet for a whole year, it didn't come. And I thought that I lost it. In those days, I used to put money, US money, in an envelope because they couldn't send it away just so, and wrap it in a paper in a way that the letter looked like the shape of the magazine. And send the books. And you know, I was missing a whole set for more than a year until it came to me. They sent it in some place in Africa by mistake. And then sent it off. But that is how I got my original literature. But now all I do is to go on the internet, I find it overnight. So it's all there for you to go on the internet and say, you have the computer, what are you watching at? And what interests you? And what do you have on your Facebook? Amen?
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
You know, some people believe if you block, you can't see. But there's so many ways to hack. Amen? And see some of the pictures and things that you block. You understand? Now, if we are seeing that, can you imagine what God is saying? So the point about it, make sure your Facebook represents you as a Christian, okay?
Amen.
You didn't hear me?
Amen.
Make sure your Facebook show that you're a Christian. Use your Facebook to give yourself a religious face. What do you think? Amen, brethren? That the truth spread. That the truth will spread all over. Okay, my dear brethren? I was so happy, you know, I just started Tuesday SDA and I found myself preaching authorities that Brother Divine had put on. That the brethren in Grenada and St. Vincent had called and said these studies were so wonderful. They learned so much from it. So it's been accessed. And so use your Facebook that you will give yourself a religious face to people. What do you say? When they look at you, they must see you as a child of God. Amen? So that means there are many things you have to change. What do you say? Yes, you have to change a lot of things. Amen, brethren? And by the way, we have found out that Facebook has literally been a CIA program to get to know people all over. You got information through Facebook, Twitter, and some other thing.
MySpace.
And MySpace. What you call CIA program they give to the world that they can know you and know what you believe and know your potential. Then give yourself a religious face. What do you see?
Amen.
Stand up and be counted. What do you see?
Amen.
Amen?
Guys have Facebook and said that when they know people are so vulnerable and expect people to give out so much of the world.
So much about the world. That's right. Okay. Okay, my dear brethren. Now, we go to verse 14. Now, about the 10 horns. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall what? Overcome them. For he is what? Lord of lords, and what? King of kings. And they that are with him are what? All are chosen and faithful. You think this verse is joke? This verse is a whole study by itself.
Called.
And if I were to go into this now, it will take us another 2 hours to go into this study. I literally have 3 whole pages in that one verse. Okay? But let me just first give you all the introductory principle, because the next time we need to go over this verse. Notice what it says here. These shall make war with whom? The Lamb. So that clearly shows behind the 10 nations having one opinion is an anti-Jesus opinion. Amen, brethren? But to make war with the Lamb is there physically for them to fight him. So they'll be making war with the Lamb to the person of it. That's right. Amen, brethren? But we are told the Lamb overcomes them because he's what? Lord of lords and what? King of kings. You must always remember that whenever you hear the term Lord of lords, it is speaking about all the religions in the world having their God. And the word Lord of lords means God of all gods.
Amen.
You'll get into all of that when we study.
Amen.
And whenever you hear it says Jesus is what? King of kings. That is always said in a globalist context. Where it shows all the kings united together against him, but he's the king of all those things.
Amen. Amen.
So you know for sure that the verse is put in a globalist setting.
That's right.
Amen, brethren?
Amen.
And in a setting where you have all religions united as one.
Amen.
They are just about to be divided up. Amen, brethren?
Amen.
So we're going to have to look at this next time that we go. But this is what verse 14 is telling us. And they that are with him, if you are with Christ, during that time when you have globalism, which is the last 15 years of the earth's history, then obviously you will call, amen?
That's right.
You already chosen in the judgment, amen?
That's
That's like say chosen. So the time you're with him, you're already called, when God has called you, you're already chosen, you're passed in the judgment, and you're faithful, you're passed through the plague. Amen, brother?
Amen.
Amen? Amen. So that shows that gives us a context of verse 14. Amen, brother?
Amen.
So we're going to be looking at all of that the next time. Right, brother?
Amen.
Okay? But in the meanwhile, let us take this into consideration here. You are to understand that Europe is going to turn communist. Their constitutions are going to be given over to communism.
That's right.
All over the world, the economic crisis that is going on now in your generation, listen to me. The economic crisis that is going on now in your generation is for the sake of bringing about new world order very soon. It should show you how close you are to the end. And that it is just about preaching the last gospel which wouldn't last for a year. So when the word spread all over the world and the last message go forward, it wouldn't last for a year, just for a few months. And then voila, the other things start. Trouble is coming. You don't have much time. You got to prepare yourself. What do you say? I didn't hear that one a lot. You have to prepare yourself. And you have to be sincere about it. You have to mean it. Because you're watching and these things taking place right in front of your eyes. I have my personal conviction, and I know what I'm speaking about, that grace of God. You must have yours by you doing your research. Listen, man, you have the time now. Use it wisely. Do you know what is coming? Real trouble is coming upon the face of this earth. Changes are taking place. We are facing a deadly future. That's what's coming. And you need to prepare for it. Amen, brother? Amen? So remember this evening, we will take over and continue until we finish off this chapter. And then we'll go into different chapters in Revelation to study it. Okay, my dear brother? Okay? Amen. But so far you see the destruction of walls. So what if you were an evangelical? What will happen to you? What if you were an Adventist? What would happen to you? You know, Mrs. White described what would happen to Adventists? The traditional one.
What happens to them? Traditional one.
You know, Mrs. White described what will happen to them?
Yes, I'm
She's here. You want to hear? When the destruction is taking place in Florida, don't you feel there first of all? When the Illuminists use people to start to destroy Fort Religion, Mrs. White says Adventists are the first of all.
Oh my God.
All that we're going to be talking about. You'll be shocked how she put it. Now this clearly shows us what's going to happen to the organization. And that is to put at rest all of you who think that organization will make it. Listen to me. Those of you who think that organization will make it, that is to put that to rest in the night. That Adventist organization will not make it. They will not make it. Yes, my dear.
In fact, I think we should be telling them to come out of that organization very easier. I don't know if we can say it's Babylon yet, but at what time will we consider Babylon to say come out of the
When they start embracing something, when they start embracing something, and they will, she said they will. When they start doing it, then we start to say Babylon. Okay, but in the meanwhile, your work must be not just so you can help evangelicals, but to help them also.
That's right.
Amen, brother?
Yes.
Please let us start. I agree with you. Let us pray. Let us pray. Loving Father in heaven, please forgive us of our transgression and justify us. Make us righteous. Save us from our sins. Forgive us in our characters. Make us love each other and make each of us be sincere in serving and spirit of the truth. Please help us to prepare for the end. May we dwell on the right concepts, the right things to bring about the end. May we be honest and sincere in this. As we meet here tonight to the way, please keep us safe from all harm, from all trouble, from all harm, from all danger, from all accident. Until we meet again, in Jesus' name, amen.
You know what I'm thinking? I was thinking about one of those nice soft cut like teddy bears and this should be the same. That's it, we have time. Yes, yes. Here's some pizza, right? Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Realize that